kill. Do you know what I mean? Like one bodyguard should be enough, surely, or 3 max.
Yeah, I don't think Muhammad Ali had bodyguards.
Yeah.
Did he?
Well, but it's just weird. I find the whole shit like bizarre. But going back to the chat we had. So after the KSI fight, you know, you're looking back on it now. You clearly aren't happy with the way you performed. What was your sort of biggest regret about the night?
That's a great question. I mean, obviously, my biggest regret would be tapping him when he went down. Like, after I got him with the uppercut, that last final punch where he was, like, kind of on the ground, and I just tapped him in the back of the head. Like, I wish I would have pulled that punch. I wish I would have done that. Because then I think it's pretty safe to say, like, he would have got a 10 count. He still would have been pretty wobbly, and I probably would have finished him off right there. But then again, woulda, shoulda, coulda, I don't fucking know. I vividly remember tapping him in the back of the head, the 2 points coming off, the 5 minutes of recovery time, and me just sitting there like, well, that was my window. Good job, Logan. You fucking blew it, moron.
But when I was watching the fight, I remember thinking, you know, you weren't pulling the trigger, and that was a real issue, because you technically probably looked a bit better than JJ, but he was the aggressor, and you just seemed hesitant. And when I spoke to Jake, he said that when you were fighting JJ, there was maybe a little fear in there, or a bit too careful. Do you feel the same about that?
No, I don't give any fucks anymore because I can't, and that learning lesson was experienced in that fight.
Okay.
You're right. I remember being, I don't know, like hesitant, like I wasn't throwing. What the fuck? Like how you gonna win a boxing match if you don't throw? And now it's like, that's all I want to do, you know. I gotta let the bombs go if I want to win and do the damage that I know I can do. And we've been working at it for a year and a half, man. It's that killer mentality that Jake has a bit more than me. My thing is I'm also a bit more calculated. I'm a bit more strategic, and I don't put myself in situations where I'm gonna get fucking knocked out or mean. And so it's that balance of like throwing and not being too vulnerable while you throw recklessly.
Yeah, I spoke to a very good boxer I know who's a pro recently, and he said, like, he's like, the problem with me is I'm a bit too smart for boxing. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm a little too aware of consequences and possibilities. So when I'm in there, there's some guys, you see them, the berserkers, who clearly, a bit like Jake, I guess, who will just go in there and think, fuck it, tunnel vision. And then there's other guys who are a bit more like yourself, perhaps, who think a bit too much. And I guess you've got to switch that voice off.
You have to, because bro, the berserkers, as you call it, the brawlers, like, when we spar, I catch those guys, because they're brawling, and you lose because you're not, but I'm in there like boxing, using my brain, I'm watching every fucking move you do, bro. Like, that's my number one asset is probably my eyes, my vision. Like, I see the punches, that in my reaction time is quick, and
You're very fast for a big guy, for sure.
Yeah, I'm fascinated. So I catch the brawlers and they're going crazy with these punches, like me back on the rope, like throw a big overhand, like I just see it and get caught. And so I don't want to be that. I don't want to be the thing that I'm fighting against, especially when I'm fighting a dude like Floyd, who is the counter puncher. He is gonna catch you if you fucking slip up, if you overextend a little bit. Or don't extend enough, or your timing's off, like he's gonna get you, you know. And so I gotta be strategic where how and when I'm throwing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Looking back at that training camp and everything, you know, you were in amazing shape, and even in the ring against KSI, yeah, you were slipping some punches. You just weren't making them pay, as you say. There was no receipt there, but Shannon Briggs was your coach, the head coach for that. He has now moved on. What was the decision to move him on based on?
I don't know, because I thought Shannon was a good coach. Because he was understood what finished the course, if you will. Like I got halfway through his teachings and then switched things up. When I felt like I hadn't, there was unfinished business with his style. Like I wanted to fully absorb and learn it before I moved on to whatever. Like he's my Mr. Miyagi.
Okay.
His style works really well with the athlete that I am, and I didn't master it. Like I want to master it, and I think it's gonna be a really good strategic elusive fighter in the ring once we do that.
I did see that Shannon called out Jake. Did you see that? There was a
bro. He called out me.
Yeah. How did that feel when you've paid this guy, you spent time together? Like there should be a level of respect and loyalty there, surely.
Nah, bro. I don't. Like, what is loyalty? What is respect? Like, I don't. Any of these virtues, I've been so jaded by LA. Like, I'm numb to everything, bro.
Okay.
Like, I see some shit, and I'm like, okay, like does it surprise me? No. That's whatever. I don't care.
So someone like
life is weird.
This guy stabbed you in the back a bit, really, by doing that, in my opinion. And you're just so used to it. Getting the cue.
Join the club, bro. Get the cue. I'm used to that shit.
I feel sorry for you, though, because, people don't understand the position that when you get to a point where you are someone who people can gain from, that loyalty is based on them gaining from you. And the minute that stops, it's like, read all about it. I'm ready to talk. I'm going to, I'll dish in the dirt immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I got no comments. Humans are humans.
Okay, let's run, guys. Let's run.
Some have a better moral compass than others, and I try not to hold anyone to the standard that I hold myself to because I believe it's slightly unrealistic. But you'll find the good people in your life that are on the same wavelength as you. Keep you close.
Let's go.
So you're speaking about that style, that Milton style. I did watch the video with you battering those four brothers, and it's a very unorthodox style. And when I was watching it, I was like, okay,
that was too much.
He takes risks, yeah. It could come across as a sloppy style in regards to the classic boxing style, but
styles make fights. As you know, styles make fights. And the amount of people who watched that video and commented on it, you fight with your hands down, you are going to get beat by Freud if you do this. Because boxing, like everyone thinks there's one way to box. What the fuck? Yo, where are these comments when Roy Jones was fighting? Where are these comments when Muhammad Ali was fighting? And like, I understand these are some of the greats, but like as someone who also wants to be some of the greats, and the projection is there, like, there's not one way to do something.
Here's my thought process. If I was to do some of the things that you do in front of my boxing coach, he would go, no, that's not how a boxer does it. Now you're talking about this style that you're cultivating with Milton. Is it ignorance or is it deliberate? Because I think some people are looking at you going, he's dropping his hands, he doesn't know what he's doing. But what you're saying to me is, no, Milton's very aware of what you're doing, and this is something that you are creating together.
Bro, we fight with our hands down. Like, and guess what? Sometimes we don't. Like, sometimes for the Gronk brothers, I didn't need to put my hands up. For Floyd, I'm probably going to need to put my hands up. Like,
okay.
Like I know both, and I'm versatile. It's one of my strengths. I'm versatile. So like, and with Floyd, we'll see what happens, bro. I might need to stick my hands right up here, go turtle up in my shell, whatever. Or like, maybe I stay elusive. We'll see.
How much of Floyd have you been watching?
A lot, but it's tough because like he's got every tool in the shed, dude.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? His arsenal and his knowledge when it comes to boxing is unlimited. So you never really know what Floyd you're gonna get. And he watches you. Dude, he watches you like a robot, like a computer, bro. He's gonna come out. He's gonna take a couple steps to his left. He's gonna take a couple steps to his right. See how I react. Watch my footwork. See if I'm crossing my feet. Whatever the fuck I'm doing. Download it and set up like 4 different punches off of each one. Like every movement I make, and probably in the first like 2 to 4 rounds, he's gonna keep it real light and just scan me, and then set me up for shit. And so yeah, we watch for it, but you know, at what point is it pointless?
It's funny though. I was watching a podcast with Michael Bisping, the UFC fighter, and he said, you know, even towards the end of his career, if he sparred a guy who was like, you know, just starting or, you know, didn't necessarily have the exact technique that you expect, he would sometimes get guys who weren't as highly trained. A highly trained guy does the textbook, and not having that yet could be an advantage because you might come at him with something that is completely unorthodox.
When I fought the Garage Brothers, I watched them fight. I was like, okay, we'll slap. You know, they look great. After the fight, I talked to my boxing coach. He goes, a bad fighter can make a good fighter look bad. Because we're not in there doing the typical slips and rolls and kind of playing chess with our fists. Like it's a bit more street fight. Like dodge a couple punches, make a miss, and just fucking unload my hands on the rookies.
And that was a bit of fun at the end of the day. It was for a YouTube video. It wasn't like exactly. You were fighting 4 guys, and yeah, I get it.
So yeah, man. Like I don't have the 10, 15, 20 years of experience